Hi guys, Luke here of SimBoxx in association with Clint Patrick and Adrenaline Performance. Delighted this evening to be joined by Kenny Sims Jr., the boss man from Chicago, USA. How are we doing, Kenny?
I'm good. I'm good. Feel great.
Yeah, so of course we're off the back of a huge win this past weekend against Elvis Rodriguez. But before we get into that fight and what it means to you and what it means going forward, I just want to go back to the beginning if we can. Let our followers get to know a little bit more about yourself. So, where did the
Okay.
passion to box come from?
Uh, Honestly, I hated boxing when I was a kid. My dad just came up to my school one day. He seen like I was small compared to the rest of the class. And he just like, you gotta learn how to fight. So like I never got bullied, but he was just like, just in case you need to learn how to fight. So I started. And then he told me I could quit once I got good, but of course, once I got good, I didn't want to quit. So maybe around the time I was about 12, I started liking it actually. And then like when I got to like teenage years, like 15, 16, I started loving it. And that's when I started taking it serious and everything.
You still remember that first time walking into a boxing gym, and that sweaty smell almost hits you and you laced up with gloves for the first time. Do you still remember that day?
Yeah, I remember it vividly because I asked my mom because my dad was working and my mom would take me and I asked her to take me to the park instead of the gym. But she didn't do it. She was like, "Nah, I'm not about to get into it with your dad. You going to the gym."
So, of course, you went on to have like a very successful amateur career. You won a lot of accolades. Now, I seen a caption in an article where it said that you actually give away some of your trophies and your medals to family members because you was collecting so many and you had nowhere to store them. That's
Yeah,
it's a good achievement.
yeah, and amateurs. Yeah, once I got to a certain like point, if I win like fights, I just give my cousins, my grandma, somebody the trophies. I didn't really care no more. Like it wasn't about that. It was about the competition at that point.
Looking back at your amateur career, what was the standout moment for yourself? What do you look back and say, that was the pinnacle, and that's what maybe not the highest recognized award, maybe, but just where you felt, a self satisfaction of, that's where I felt I performed the best, maybe.
I wouldn't say perform the best, but like in 2010, it was like so it was Olympic year for 2012. So the qualifiers stuff was the year before, and I was like, they had changed the age cutoff just because it was Olympic year. So I was still 16, but I was fighting in the 17 to 35-year-old age group, and I won that whole tournament, like fighting grown men when I was 16. And at that point, that's when I was like in my head, I was like, maybe I could do this like as a career, like maybe I'm that good. So that was the turning point for me where I was like, maybe I can make something out of this.
So can you take us through the reason behind why you didn't make it to the Olympics in 2012, which would have been over in the UK, in London, of course? I know you missed out very, very close.
Yeah.
Can you just take us through that whole process?
Uh yeah, I qualified for the Olympic trials. I was one of the youngest guys there. I lost to Jose Ramirez, 22 to 23 at one point at the Olympic trials.
Was that like a bitter pill to swallow? Did you feel like, did that
I
set you
mean,
back at all?
yeah, it was tough because I thought I won. So I thought I won that fight. So it was tough. It was tough to deal with that. And I
Growing
was
up,
young, so
after that loss, how long did it take for you to get back into the gym and put the gloves back on? Did you take time away from the sport?
I ain't take no time off. Like matter of fact, after the Olympics, I won every national tournament that I entered after that.
Amazing.
So
So
that
growing up,
2013 was the year I won like every tournament.
that's cool, man. That's cool, man. So who was your idol growing up, throughout your childhood and growing into the amateur days? Who did you look up to? Who did you aspire to follow in their footsteps almost?
Uh, it was my big brother Ed Brown that got killed a couple years ago. He was like he made boxing like he used to go to all the tournaments and stuff for me. He made boxing fun for me when I didn't like it, like when before I started actually liking it. He made it fun for me just because he was there. He made me laugh and he just lightened my mood up a lot of times. So if it was one person that I would say I looked up to when boxing, it was him. When he got killed, he was 20 and 0. So
Oh, man, that's a sad story, man. You know, his commiserations there. Very sorry to hear that now. You know, just moving forward, I want to go back to Saturday, which is, you know, the biggest win of your career at the minute. You got a record of 16, 2-1. Elvis Rodriguez, he was a highly touted prospect, trained by the Hall of Famer trainer, Freddie Roach. He was 11-0-1, 10 knockouts. And, you know, let's not beat around the bush. Kenny, you know, you was put in there as the opponent for Elvis again to get another win and to, you know, take it almost like a stepping stone, if you like, without sounding too disrespectful. Did that feed into your mentality and motivate you heading into the fight?
Oh yeah, that definitely motivated me. I mean, I knew people was like counting me out, and he could fight. He's good, but I just felt like he hadn't been in there with nobody like me. So in my head, I was happy with it actually. I was like, okay, that's cool. That's what they think. Well, I know that's not what it is. So it was motivation just because I'm like, my coaches, he's like, we know what you got. We know what it is. Like, we know that's not going to be the case.
So there's a boxer that I'm cool with over here. He's from Ireland. And I interviewed him earlier on today, actually. He's called Kevin Agiaco. Now, on his Twitter feed at weekend, he actually bet on you to win on points. So I discussed that with him. And he said he watched the first round and he knew at that moment that he was going to win by a decision. And he won handsomely. He won a good amount of money. In your mindset in the fight, how did you feel after that first round? Did you know then, you know, you might have Elvis's number, or did you feel like you had to build into the fight?
Nah, I mean, honestly, when I felt like that when I went in there, just because I did a lot of studying. It's like I studied his fights, like no matter what it was, any fight, like amateur fights, any pro fight I can find. I looked for 9 weeks. I watched the one that either a clip or a whole fight of his every day for almost 3 months. So when I went in there, I was supremely confident that I had that fight and I was gonna win. And after the first round, when it was the jab that set everything up. When I seen that he wouldn't get aggressive just because the jab was, even though I wasn't trying to land the jab a lot of times. I was just trying to keep his hands at bay. And when I seen he allowed me to do that, I was like, oh yeah, I got it.
So when the final bell went, did you have any worries at all that, you know, as he was almost, if you like, the in-house fighter, he was the top ranked prospect? Did you have any worries that, you know, the decision might have went against you, or was you 100% confident that, you know, there's no way they can take this away from me?
I didn't have okay, so I didn't have any doubts that I had won. I thought I clearly won. I didn't have any doubts that they were gonna give it to him because I didn't think he won at all. I thought I had a little reserve, like I thought maybe they'd call it a draw. And then right after I heard that first draw, I was like, oh wow.
Yeah, so ultimately, the relief then when you realise that you did get the win, the judges did see it correct. That must have been a huge moment of relief.
Yeah, that's the most emotion I've ever shown after a fight.
So, you know, I seen a comment saying that this is like a career reset button for yourself. You know, you've took a couple of losses, maybe losses that are certainly below par for expectations for yourself. Do you feel this gives you the opportunity now to fulfill the potential that you've shown in the amateur days now as a professional?
Yeah, I definitely think that. It's just like my coach K, he said this phase of my career is the remake. Like it's not a reset because I had all the skills. It's just a remake. We changed a couple things, and we just had to bring out the best in me. So I think this is definitely like putting me back where I'm supposed to be in the first place.
Yeah, absolutely. So with the fight as well, there was, of course, fans in attendance. One of the very first few shows that will allow fans back after the COVID pandemic. How good of a moment was that to be able to box in front of fans in Vegas, and also boxing in Vegas, such a high-profile fight on a high-profile network, and in front of fans? What a special occasion that was to get such a big win.
I really didn't think about that until I didn't think about that at all until after the decision was announced. Like I didn't hear I locked in, I locked out the crowd. I didn't hear or think about any of that until the decision was announced. And if you see, like in the video after the decision was announced, I ran around. I was looking for my family because my family was in there. Like I ran to the wrong corner first, looking for them, and then I ran past. Like the ref was trying to hand me the belt, and I ran past him because I was just looking for my family to go celebrate with them. Well, kind of.
Did you stick around for the main event, Josh Taylor, Jose Ramirez? Did you manage to catch that fight?
I didn't get to catch it. I'm gonna watch it. I didn't catch it. I seen the highlights, but I didn't get to finish watching it entirely. I'm gonna watch it. I was gonna watch it today, actually.
You know, I just want to get your thoughts on some recent boxing news and get your opinion on some things. So first and foremost, this past weekend, over the past few days, we've seen the announcement of Errol Spence against Manny Pacquiao, which is a great fight in the welterweight division. At 42 years of age, Manny Pacquiao still taking on the very best contenders in his division. What do you make of that fight, and can I get an early prediction?
I mean, I had Errol Spence winning. Of course, you can never count Pacquiao. He's like the all-time great, one of the greatest of all time. So you can't count him. I just think Earl is like young. He in his prime right now. And Pacquiao, he up there in age. And, he looked good again. He looked great against Keith Thurman. But that was 2 years ago, so we don't know what happened in these past 2 years. Like, you can't beat the clock. You can't beat time. So, but I mean, Pacquiao, he's still dangerous. Of course, always dangerous. But I got Errol Spence. I think at 147 is just Errol Spence and Bud, like Terrence Crawford. I don't think at
Do
this
we think
point
we get
right
that
now.
fight one day? Are we ever going to get Terence Crawford against Errol Spence? You know, it's a fight there that's one of the top 2 and 3 fights that want to be made in boxing. You know, if you ask any boxing fan in the UK or America, around the world, you know, they say pick 2 fighters. They're going to say Joshua and Fiora, and they're going to say Crawford and Spence. Do we see that fight?
I have no idea. I can't even. I want to see it, but I have no idea. I want to see it. I love to see it, but I can't even.
Again, I'm going to have to put you on the spot again there. We've got a prediction for that fight if it was to happen, say, in the next 6 months. I know it's not going to happen. You know, we're in uproar, but if it was to happen in the next 6 months, both guys in the prime, who are you taking?
See, I can't. I'm not even going to answer that because Bud's like my big brother, and Earl was in it. Like, me and him cool. Like, what? So I'm not even going. I'm going to stay neutral on that.
But also with Manny Pacquiao, his longtime rival, and obviously they clashed in 2015, Floyd Mayweather. I'm sure, you know, he's a huge name and he's 50-0. How do you sit with people that say...
I sparred with Pacquiao for that fight.
Pardon?
I sparred with Pacquiao for that fight. I was in camp with him.
Yeah, so that's something that I was going to get onto in the... You've had some high-profile sparring, so Manny Pacquiao. Can you take us through some of the other names that you sparred throughout your career?
Oh, yeah. I sparred Jorge Linares. I was in camp with him before. Andre Berto, Bud, Crawford, Pacquiao. I sparred with he had the IBF belt. He got a draw with Laura Carlos Molina.
Yeah.
I was in camp with him before.
He actually fought over in the UK this weekend.
Oh yeah, I sparred with him a lot. Robert Easter, sparred with Iris a lot. Of course, I spar with Shakur all the time.
That's good, man. That's some resume.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's some more. It's more. It's more than that. But maybe like they be sliding out. I don't even remember a lot.
Yeah. So the point that I was getting to was with Floyd Mayweather, of course, 50-0. Yeah, I think he's 43, 44 years of age now, and he's scheduled to take on Logan Paul in an exhibition fight. Where do you sit with the criticism of Floyd Mayweather? Some people say he's tarnishing his legacy by entertaining this YouTube boxing. Do you think at his age, with his record, the fact that he's retired, he's earned the right to take these exhibition fights?
Oh, I think Floyd can do whatever he wants, honestly. Like, he put the time in, he did. I mean, he the biggest thing in boxing, so anything he does, somebody's gonna tune in or somebody, and then after he does it, somebody probably gonna try to like copy it and do it themselves. So I think Floyd earned the right to do whatever he wants.
Will you be tuning in to watch Floyd Mayweather against Logan Paul? Will you be watching?
Oh, I gotta go. My brother Jared Hurd on the card, so I'll be out there.
I think that's a good thing. If anything, you see the cards that are on Triller with the YouTube boxing, or now this one with Floyd Mayweather and Logan Paul, is that the undercards tend to be stacked. Like you say, there's Jared Hurd's on the undercard, Jean Pascal against Badu Jackson on the undercard as well. So at least they're giving opportunities to boxers and making some good fights on the undercard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think the Floyd thing is just the drawing. Floyd is gonna draw in hardcore boxing fans, and then like people that just like they know who Floyd is, so they're gonna watch it. So, and I think the undercard is a great fight. So the boxing fans are gonna want to watch those. So.
Yeah, for sure. So what's the plan moving forward? Kenny, you're off the back of a career best victory. You're going to allow yourself a couple of days off and then get back to the gym. And I'm guessing you're going to keep active throughout 2021.
Yeah, definitely. Just take a couple of days off right now. Me and my girl, we just moved into a new house. Well, she been here, but I've been in camp. So last night was my first night actually staying in my house that I got. So she's pregnant, so I want to spend some time with her. But my team just texted me earlier today. We're gonna have a conference call sometime this week just to figure out the next steps and stuff.
Exciting times. Well, it's been a pleasure talking to you. I wish you the best with the new house, with the pregnancy, with your wife. I wish you the very best with that. And team boss man, I'll be tuning in the future for sure.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Yeah, take care, man. Thank you.
Thank you.